Hi everyone, and a warm welcome to episode 51. This is Lina Knits, my podcast about knitting. And I'm Lina, and I'm coming to you from my home in Helsinki, Finland, as always. I can be found as Lina Knits on most places, online, on Instagram. My website is linaknits.com. You get the gist. I design under my full name Pauliina Karru, but my Ravelry store is called Lina Knits, so that works there as well. My username on Ravelry is Lina Finn, as Lina Knits was taken. I'm still a bit under the weather, health-wise. I have a cold. It's nothing serious. It's just a lingering cold. So I'll be having frequent tea breaks. And I'm going to start this episode with a happy announcement. If you follow me on Instagram or if you're on my email list, which you can sign up to at linaknits.com/list, you already know this, but I'm absolutely thrilled to be telling you that I will be at the Edinburgh Yarn Festival this March. Well, that's not the news. You know that already. I said it on the podcast as well before, but I am part of the official group of podcasters at the Edinburgh Yarn Festival this year, and that's just making me really happy. I'm really honored to have been chosen. If you want to know who else is part of it, you can go to their website. I'll link it down below. And there are a whole host of fantastic podcasts, and I'm really honored to be part of that group. I don't have any firm plans yet, so I cannot tell you the times and places that you can find me at Edinburgh in this March, but I know that I will be attending the podcast lounge, the Black Yarn sponsored podcast lounge, on Thursday and most likely on Friday. It looks like it'll be a Friday. And otherwise attending the festival at the same time as well. We don't even know all of the dates and times for all the fringe events for the festival yet. Once I know my schedule, I will definitely share it with you here and on Instagram and in a newsletter, so you will know when I'll be there. And I really hope that you will come and say hi. I'm really excited about this, but I'm also really quite nervous because I'm a shy person. So also, if you see me, do come and say hi. I most definitely will love it. But yes, more on that later, but just wanted to announce it now that it's official and I can talk about it. Okay. On to the knitting. No finished objects, but I have been knitting. Well, I did finish something. I knit a sample knit, but I don't have it anymore. I sent it away. So that's taken quite a bit of my knitting time, but I have been knitting other things as well. I'm gonna start with an older whip. My confetti sweater by Veera Välimäki has seen some action since my last podcast. I'm knitting on the body and quite far along. There's still a way to go, but so this is a fingering weight sweater that I'm knitting out of a blue and a grayish white skein. These are, I have a second one of the blue. It's by Porsche Yarn. Oh, and I have a needle hanging there. No idea why. Oh, that was used for the yoke, top of the yoke. Esme sock, which is 100% merino base. And the other one is Fiddle Knits Polka Diamond, in the colorway Diamond, and another 100% merino base. So yes, still very much in love with this, but Oh, here you can see where I was the last time I showed it to you. So I've done a fair bit. But this is now back in waiting space. Because I've cast on another sweater that I want to really truly want to finish. Because this year I won't be traveling to Edinburgh alone. Well, I'm doing the actual traveling bit alone, but I will be there with Maria of the Lina Knits podcast and yarn. And I'm super excited. So we live on the opposite sides of the globe, so we don't really get to see each other that often. We met last year in Edinburgh, and we've been chatting online since then, so I'm really excited to get to spend some time with her. But while we were chatting, we decided to knit matching sweaters. We changed the pattern. I think I mentioned this last time, but we changed the pattern since then, and now we've cast on. So we're doing the Winter Soul pattern by Jennifer Steingas. And this is what mine looks like. So this is started from the bottom of the yoke. So you cast on what seems like a really lot of stitches, but I'm sure it'll work out in the end. And you start the color work. And I am on a row that has all 3 colors. There aren't many of those rows, but I'm on one of them now. So this is how much I've knit. This bit here is the cast on that you're going to unravel at the end, so it's not part of the sweater. But this is what it looks like. This is on the back. It looks the same, but the front just has fewer rows, like this. And I'm really enjoying that. I think it's a really pretty, a really beautiful pattern. And Maria and I both loved it, so it was easy to finally. It wasn't easy to settle on a pattern. There are so many that we wanted to do and like, but we both loved this. We thought about knitting the Boreal by Kate Davies, but it has really long floats, and we just thought it would be too stressful. I think I'm gonna do that pattern at another time, but for now we both wanted something that would be quite relaxing to knit as well, since it's sort of a deadline knit. So we didn't want any added stress to that. I'm knitting this using these colors. So this is my main color, and these 2 are then the contrasting colors used in the yoke, well, hems. And I'm using the yarn is Gilead by the Rerum Natura. I know I can't pronounce it properly. So this is this Poivre Blanc, and this is Poivre. I hope I'm not completely butchering, and all of those who know French are just laughing their heads off right now. And my main color is Seal, which I think it means sky. So I've knit with this yarn before. I really love how large the balls are. They're just huge. I've knit with this yarn before. I've knit my gray Tolme sweater from this, and I really loved knitting with it, and I love the sweater. It's one of my most used sweaters and one of my favorite makes, one of the favorite things I've knit, and the yarn has held up really well. So when we decided to do a color work sweater out of Aran weight yarn, or is it worsted? Anyway, I knew I wanted to use this one because I love the colors as well. Maria is knitting hers out of her own yarn. It's going to be really gorgeous. I know my sweater will be left in a corner when we wear them together. All the attention will be on hers, but still very happy with mine, loving it. And yeah, so this will be seeing I'll be knitting a lot on this, since I do actually want to finish my Edinburgh, since I do actually want to finish my EYF project before it. We won't be wearing these at the festival. It was really hot last year, so but when we're sightseeing and enjoying the outdoors. And I always forget to mention the needles. I'm using the 4mm needles. These are by Addi. They're really not my favorite anymore. I don't like how the cable gets twisted. But I've got a ton of these, and they're okay to knit with, so I'm using those. And yeah, the 4mm is actually the one that was recommended on the pattern, and I'm just going with that since my gauge is good with that one. I also compared it to the Tolme that I knit before, and it's the same or similar. I think I did the Tolme in 4.5. And then there's one more whip that I've been knitting on. If you watched my vlog last week, you've seen this, but I've made more progress on it. So I'm knitting my own pattern again. And this is my Get Cozy socks. The original pair is in a minty green alpaca yarn, so this is something completely different. So Get Cozy is a pattern for DK weight socks. I think I was at the gusset last week, and now I'm pretty much at the toe. So this yarn is by Gnome Acres. They're bedazzled, DK bedazzled now, in Winter Wonderland colorway. 75% merino, 20% nylon, and 5% sparkle power. So it's a Stellina sparkly base. And yeah, really liking these. These knit up fast, and the pattern's easy, so it's a great mindless knit. And yeah, I got this yarn in the autumn of 2016 with the intention of knitting it that winter, and I never did. So now I cast it on, and I'm going to have a pair of socks for this winter from it. I know it's already late January, but there's still plenty of winter left here. And it feels like it's only now properly winter. Well, it was. It's now plus, and all the snow is melting again. And you would think that that's fine. Spring is coming, but it's not. It doesn't mean that. It just means it will be really wet and icy and whatever, since it'll keep going from the plus degrees to the minus back and forth, and there'll be lots of snow. Maybe. Usually there is still lots of snow in February, so it's just not as pretty anymore as it was. Okay, and then there's one more of my own patterns, a new pattern that I can now share with you, and it's a pair of mittens. These are called Kindling, and they're in the test knitting phase right now, and they will be released sometime next week, before the end of January. Confused myself there. So these are just a really quick knit again, quite simple, really maximizing on the warmth, on being warm. So slip stitches, double cuff, and Aran weight yarn. but I'll be doing a separate video of these where I talk more about them. So be on the lookout for that, and also for the pattern release. But then I've got some stash enhancement, and it's not all yarn. The two skeins of yarn that I got are the ones that I showed in the vlog, but I'll show them here again since I know not everyone watches the vlogs or wants to watch the vlogs. So this one I got for free from the retreat that I went to, a day retreat. Someone had a whole bag full of these yarns. So this is Seitsemän veljestä by Novita, and this is a yarn that you can get pretty much everywhere in Finland, and even the tiniest grocery stores usually have a few colors of these. And this is what I learned to knit with. So it's been around many years. This one is 150 grams and it has 300 meters, so it's worth that weight. And it's 75% wool and 25% nylon, so it's a sock yarn. Winters can be cold here, so we need thick sock yarn. Well, you know that I don't really knit a lot with this now, but I did get this one. Well, it was free. But my son really loves to wear things that I knit for him, but he really wears them, then he doesn't really mind what he does with them or how he treats them, which is fine. I mean, I knit things to be used, not most things that I knit are meant to be used, and I like them to be used. But anyway, if he gets through a pair of socks pretty quickly, it's going to get quite expensive. So I got this one for him. I think I can get 2 pairs of short cuffed socks for him from this, even though his foot is starting to be the same size as mine, and he's 8. Yeah. So that's that. I haven't done anything with that yet, so who knows when he'll get those socks. And then I got this one. This is a really pretty neutral skein by Ikke Yarns. It's called Sparrow, and it's 80% merino. 80% merino, 20% nylon. 365 meters, 399 yards in the 100 gram skein. Now there are several. There were she and another Finnish dyer were selling at the retreat, and I went and had a look at their yarns probably like 10 times before purchasing this one. I told myself I could get one skein without any purpose, so it was difficult to pick just one. But I just felt like I wanted something really pretty and neutral, so I went with this one. It'll be socks for me. But then the biggest enhancement has happened in the fiber stash. If you watched for a while, you know that I occasionally spin, and in December I finished spinning one bat into a yarn. So now I have 600 grams more fiber. That math doesn't really add up there, but that's what happened. And now I just need to find time to spin. And this is what I got this for free. There was some sort of a pay forward Christmas thread in one of the Finnish Ravelry groups that I'm a part of. So someone put something up, if you wanted it, you just said, yes, me please, and then put something of your own where someone else could claim it. So I got this bag of fiber, and I paid it forward with a skein of yarn. This is a really pretty one. This is I haven't had anything by this company before. Southern Cross Fiber, and it's their February 2013 club, so I'm not the only one who's hoarding stuff. And the colorway is called Distant Thunder, and it's just really gorgeous. But before I got that, I actually purchased some from Countess of Lace. I got this. This is F is for Fidelio, and it's merino rose fiber and trilobal nylon. No idea what it all means. And then this one, which I got out of the bag. And this is Pink Skies, which is gray fin, merino, sea cell, and Angelina sparkle. The sparkle is really subtle. So, really pretty ones there. But then I also went through people's these stashes. They're for sale pages on Ravelry, and I found someone who was selling these two bats in the same colorway. Let me get them out of the bag, or one of them. So this is by Knit Love Blair, and there's a whole story there. It was dyed for a fiber club some years ago. It has 70% BFL and 30% silk. And so each of these two ones is 150 grams, so there's 300 in total. And this is a really stunning color. It was even better in person than from the pictures on the stash page. So 600 grams of fiber on top of what I already had, which I can assure you it's not a lot. It's probably double what I have here now. But still, I need to find the time to spin. Yeah. That'll probably be my fiber buying for a while now. Next bat that I finish, not buying new ones, no way. I'll probably get some at EYF if John Arbor has those huge vats there again. It was just so much fun picking fiber from their huge. Just wanted to sort of dive in and sit there and surround yourself in the wool. Okay, right. That's a bit embarrassing, maybe. I'll do that later. And then I also got a new issue of Taito. So this is the Finnish magazine that I subscribe to at the Tampere Craft Fair. And this, it always has a few patterns for knitting, crochet, sewing, embroidery. So it's not a knitting magazine, it's handcraft magazine, I'd say. But the main thing here is, I think, the articles, like the interviews with different artists and artisans. And this is the first issue of my subscription. I got 2 issues to take with me when I subscribed, but this is the first issue that I got as part of the subscription, and I'm really happy that I did. I'm really happy that I subscribed. This is such an inspiring magazine, and I feel like when I read this, I sort of know what's happening in the craft industry in Finland. Well, I love knowing what happens in the international field of knitting and handcrafts. It's also really good to be in the know of what happens here in my home country. And it's now that I'm working for myself, even though I'm not selling my makes. I'm not in the industry as such, that I'm not creating things with my hands and then selling those creations. But still, it's this magazine, at least this issue, it was full of people who are working for themselves, who are entrepreneurs, and that's also inspiring in that way, to read about people who are doing it and not. Yeah, so lots of inspiration, lots of information. So that's everything that's been happening in my knitting corner. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. Do keep in touch, comment below, thumbs up. Those are great ways to letting me know that you've enjoyed it, and also helping to share these videos with other people, since the more thumbs up they get, the more they are recommended to other people. At least that's my understanding how it works. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. That way you'll always know when I upload new content to this channel. I hope to see you soon again. Happy knitting, and thank you for watching.